Hey, what's up folks? Welcome back to Duster Bust. Happy Sunday. Today we're talking about the Dash. So this is something that I've kind of been waiting on for a little while. Being new, this is not something I wanted to jump into right away. So now that I've had some experience and I've had time to think about what kind of car guy am I and what's my style, and we'll talk more about that at the end, I am now clear on what I want to do with this Dash. To me, this is a super important element of the car. This really impacts your experience driving the car. This is what you see. This is what you interface with. So doing it in a way that is true to your desires is important. So I will just say this is a limited use car. I think I've heard Uncle Tony use that term. This is not a daily driver. This is not a show car. This is not something that I am building for resale where I would want to, maximize how many people love the design. This is something that I'm building for me, and I want to do it in my style, the way that I think will look coolest. So, what is that? All right, so first let's talk design principles. The principles that we're going after are original lines. So we're customizing it. I'm not a restoration guy. Nothing against restoration folks. Cheers to them. But this I'm building custom for me. So my style, design elements that we're going after are original lines, an area correct-ish look. I'm okay if a couple little details are not perfect, but I like for the average person to look at it and have a doubt of, is that original or not? So could it have been original? Sorry, going back to it. Original lines, area correct-ish look, simple, clean. Anything we can simplify and clean up, we're doing. And then in a few spots, some updated internals. So, I like some of the amenities, I just don't like them being out of place. So let's talk through a few things, point by point on what I'm going to be doing. So starting with the main frame of this thing. So it's a steel frame, and I'm not sure what the gauge is on it, but the color does not look, it won't look good in my opinion with the yellow. So I got to change the color on it. And also, you'll notice down here, it's like Swiss cheese down here. There's, different stuff that got mounted to it. And then there is, all of this, the little ashtray and lighter. I want to clean this all up. So what I want to do is fill all the holes that are no longer needed. I also want to pull this little skin off and try to weld it perfectly in line, fill it up, and try to make it look like it was never there. Try to keep that seamless look all the way across, and then take the whole thing down to bare metal, give it like a brushed metal look, and clear coat it. And I think that'll look really good with some black vinyl accents. So we'll get to that in a second. The dash pad. The dash pad that I had was in such bad shape that I had to cut it off, and also because I didn't know that they were so stinking expensive to replace. So I want to put in a original-ish dash pad. I can't bring myself to spend $350 on a new one. One, because to me that's a bit, and two, because it looks like a lot of the new ones are also just ABS plastic. And if I'm going to take the time and money to do something, I want it to look like nice vinyl. So I found a used one on eBay. I had it sent, or it's purchased now. It's going to ship over here. It's just an old beat up one from somebody else's car that has a good internal structure to it. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to refoam it, and I'm going to get some nice black vinyl that hopefully matches the seats really well. And I'm going to cover that and try to get the original-ish look to it. So keeping that original line. So we're going to have clean bottom, dash pad look on top. Going to the cluster. This cluster is in pretty rough shape. You know, some of this plastic is all broken off. What I want to do is I want to recreate this cluster in steel, and then change all the internals here, all the gauges. I'm going to put some modern round gauges. I'm going to put a tachometer in as well. I'm going to take the lights and the wiper out. I'm going to put those on toggles on a toggle bank over here. The radio, I do want to put a radio in down the road, so that will be put in, but it's not going to be this old radio. I'm just going to delete that for now, and I'm going to put a toggle in that'll be radio on, radio off, and then I'm going to put a Bluetooth amplifier in that goes to a speaker in the original speaker position, and then I'll have music that I can control off of my phone. I think that'll be cool, and it'll just clean this all up. The other thing that I'll mention is the heater. I'm just going to fill these plates for now because I'm not going to put the heater back in. Actually, this whole rat's nest is not going back in. I'm going to try to rewire everything custom myself. This is not going to be a daily driver. This is just cruising around on nice days. I don't think I need a heater. If I do end up deciding to put a heater in later, I'm totally okay with a on-off heater. So at this point, you know, we're going to have a new cluster here with some new gauges. That's going to look sweet. And then I'm going to take this, we already talked about these, you know, deleting the radio, taking the heater out, coming over here, glove box. I don't wear gloves. Sorry, cheesy joke. But what do most people have in their glove box? Usually just a hoard of crap. I don't need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these two pieces with a one piece, probably like a stainless one piece across. I'm going to put toggles here for everything that I need to control, just simple metal toggles. And then I'm going to take another piece of that same vinyl, and I'm going to try to make a vinyl accent here that looks similar in, you know, shape and intent, but I'm going to do it in a real vinyl, and I think it'll look sweet. And that's it. So it's just, you know, kind of a steel and vinyl look with some nice gauges, clean lines. I think it's going to be awesome. So that's what I have in my head. The challenge will be, have I learned enough to execute that? Can I bring that vision to life? I hope that I can. You know, I've been, you know, I've done some metal work for the body work. I've done some vinyl for the seats. So it's going to be a little bit of a test, but I think it could be amazing, and I'm going to go for it. So I'm not going to have it done by next weekend. It's probably going to take me 2 weeks to get all this done. So shooting for the 7th, being able to post about this. I will put something out next weekend though. Not quite sure what it is yet. So, you know, as always, we'll have something on Sunday. So, what else? General perspective on what type of car guy. And I think this is important because being a new guy to this, a few months ago I did not know, you know, I didn't really know what I liked. It just takes time. It takes time and working on stuff to kind of define your style, and it evolves over time as well. This is something that I just wanted to mention for the other new folks out there. There's so much out there, and it is all awesome. And it is great that there are people in every little facet and doing every type of customization, and that's just a really cool thing. And none of them are bad, especially from a design standpoint. you know, it is art. It is cool for people to have their own unique perspective on how something should be. There are certain cars that should be done a certain way, I think. You know, you don't want to take something that's super rare and chop it up. That's not cool. Like, save that for somebody who likes doing original restorations. But there's some cool stuff out there, and there's, you know, there's the LS swap people. I personally am a big fan of original block. It doesn't really matter to me what the original block is. It could be a, you know, could be a slant 6, could be a 318, could be a 360, could be a 340. In the Mopar world, if you're outside of that, you know, whatever the original motor is, I think it's cool to have that original block, updated internals. You know, that's kind of my thought process. You know, there's people who are just into LS swapping everything. That's cool. It's just not really my thing. On the Ford end, you know, there's the Coyote swaps. Also cool, just not my thing. I do kind of get excited when I see the stuff that's just totally outrageous, like the smart car with the Hayabusa turbo engine in it. Like, that's just nuts. You know, stuff like that. Super cool. I don't know, maybe one day I can see myself, you know, trying to get into building something like that. You know, the main point is find your design. There's no wrong answers in design. It's whatever works for you. Fabrication on the other end, there's lots of ways to screw that up, and I'm hoping that I can pull this off. I think I can. I'm going to try it. We'll see how it comes out. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe. Tell me what you think about this this design. You know, let me know what you would do if it was your car. Would you do an original restoration of it? Would you do something custom? Would you do something totally modern? You know, what are your thoughts? There are no wrong answers here. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you next week.